All right, I'm working on my jointer knives, and the one thing that I've seen every time I go to sharpen them is this is the back. And you can see these lines here, machining lines or honing lines, I guess, probably. And I'm trying to do this justice, but maybe that's a little bit better. Anyway, I'm trying to show you what I've been working with for the last 20 some years. This is the back, and whenever you put an edge on that on the other side, you end up with those little striations coming through your edge. So it's not a true edge. What I've done is I've taken these out of the joiner and I've completely reworked this side already. I ran this over a stone, grinding stone, to give me a fresh bevel there. So it's kind of hard to see. But anyway, it is right to the edge. So this is the last one I need to do. The problem is when you do something like this is how do you get this flat? All right, well here's what, this is the before picture, I guess, and this is going to be an after. Okay, so I'm working on this one, and let me tip this one up. Now you can see I've got a bit of a hollow spot right there, but it is out to the edge, the flattened part. So it's pretty good finish all the way across this thing. There you can see that I get a bit of a reflective image on it. So it may not be perfect, but let's just put it this way, it is way better than what I've been dealing with. Okay, so let me show you how I've been doing this. And I haven't sharpened the edge yet, by the way. So this is still a machined edge basically, and I've got to put a new bevel on this side, on all of them. I'll show you that as well. But here's the, like I say, here's the problem with doing something like this is how do you hold this flat and move it? So let me switch over to my stones over here, my diamond stones, and let me show you what I've done. And incidentally, that I don't know if I would have ever attempted this without this sharpening setup I have now. It allows me to hold those stones and move these blades relatively easily. So let me show you what I got, or what I have. Try to use proper English. Hang on. First of all, it's a mess. So that's one thing you're going to have to remember when you do something like this. It gets messy, and you can see by my hands in the previous shot there that this is messy. So this is my blue diamond stone. It's equivalent to a 325 grit. To be honest with you, I wish I had something coarser than this because it does take some time. So what I've been doing, or what I started out doing, was, wetting the stone and putting the blade on here and just working it back and forth like this. Right, just pushing it with my fingers. Well, this is all well and good right now, but as soon as this upper part gets wet, which it's starting to get wet, and as I get further and further into the sharpening process, and the back gets flatter and flatter, it takes more and more pressure to move this across the face of this stone, and I just don't have the time to deal with that. So I was kind of going through my my drawers and cupboards, I guess, and this is what I came up with. This is a grip tight feather board, and it's an old one. It's been around quite a while, but it's a magnetic base. Okay, so if I clean this off here, and I go to put this on, let me make sure I'm in the shot here. Widen this out a little bit. So what I do is I just turn this over, put it about halfway, or get it so I get about the same overhang, and I can feel the magnet pulling this down now as I do this. So I just kind of eyeball this with my thumb before I release it and bring it down nice and slow. Oh, that's too quick. Keep it in the center of that magnet. There. That baby is not moving. Now that gives me something to hang on to here. Now I can really stroke this thing and not have to worry about hanging on to the piece with my fingers. And it also keeps my fingers out of the way of that cutting edge, if you would ever slip with it. And you can hear it cutting. And I'm just moving back and forth, this way and this way on the stone. Trying to get this flat as I can with this particular grit. So now, hopefully I can do justice to this. You can see already that I've taken those mill marks out of there, that area, and this area. Okay, and you can see some other shiny spots, but it takes some time. Overall, I would say that I've got probably 30 minutes to an hour into each of those previous 3 blades, depending upon the shape. One thing I have noticed that has been consistent is they're all hollow right in here. And you may think that that's because of this magnet, but it's not. I've moved the blade around, shifted it one way or the other, and it's still consistently hollow in all of them, right in this area. So I don't know what's going on there, but like I said, when I get done, this is still going to be way better than what I had. So I'm moving through. I move through the 3 grits. I go from 325 to, what is it, 600 on the red, and then 1000 on the green. And I stop here and I call it good. The first one I did, I went through these 3. Then I moved to these diamond stones, and then to my ceramic stone. I think I spent way too much time trying to get a polished finish. Well, it's not worth it. For me, it's just not worth it. This is going to be better than I've ever had, and I think I'm going to get a much better results than I've ever had with my jointer because these knives are that much sharper. So I'm going to go through the grits, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to put an edge on each of these, and then I'll put them back in my jointer. One thing I forgot to mention is I try to spend an equal amount of time at the way I'm doing this. And for me, the way I do it is I've got some good music on. I listen to one song in this direction, I turn it around and do one song in this direction. I'm picking it up and cleaning it up and see how my progress is going. But even now, you can see here again. You can see that I'm starting to polish this up. Getting polished here, through here, back here. But again, I'm right in here. I'm hollow. But that's okay. So I'm going to get back to this But I just want to let you know that I'm not constantly working it just one way. I'm doing it this way, and then this way. And then I'm checking my progress as I do that. Well, that one went pretty quickly, actually. Probably about 25 minutes is all. So you can see that's pretty good. Still got a little scratch pattern right through here and through here, but again, I'm out to the edge with that 1000 grit diamond. So this was the fourth one. Now I'm going to show you putting an edge along this, the whole edge here. So it's time to get busy on that. Okay, I'm going to go to my finest diamond stone here to start with. And ideally, I'd like to find that bevel right there and run it. You know, actually, you'd want to run it this way if you could, but I've got a jig that I've, a homemade jig, and I'm going to try and hit this bevel, if not right there, up just a little bit. So I'm on the front edge. Okay, so that's my number one knife. And I'm debating whether I want to use this diamond stone or my ceramic. Well, we'll try it with this one first. So let me show you what I've got here. This is a homemade jig to hold jointer knives. Nothing more than a board, you know, a nice straight piece of oak that I put a little rabbet in to register against, for my knife to register against, and then a couple of metal plates here with little screws and just ever so slight attention on that is all it takes to hold that down there, because this knife is sitting proud of this surface. So I think this is about half this rabbet is about half the thickness of this blade, and then it overhangs the edge here by about probably 3/16. And you know, I probably could have made this a little shallower so I had more blades sticking out, but that's fine. So I'm going to put this on here. Oh, and then I've got this rod back here running through this piece here. I think it's about 1/2 inch square, and then a knob with a piece of plastic between this rod and the metal, so it doesn't dig into the wood. So if I put it on my stone like that, I'm just going to eyeball down this way and see where I am on that bevel, and I am definitely high. So I'm going to bring it down a little. Bring the, well, this is, incidentally, this is just an old router bit ball bearing running on a screw and a nut. That's pretty simple. So I'm going to push this in. I've got a pencil mark on here somewhere. There it is. Probably just about 1/16 is all. I'm still high. Bring it in just a little bit more. And like I said, I want to hit that edge, but I don't want it to be drastic. All right, that's pretty good. So you can see I've got this marker on here to show you what I'm going to get for an edge. So let me position the camera here over this way, and then I'll show you how I'm gripping and running this. All right. A little simple green and water. Well, and incidentally, I got 2 matching marker lines out here to show me where the edge of my stone is. And that also lines up with the blade as well. I'm just going to make a few passes here, and I'm trying to put equal pressure because with the way this thing is, you could very easily tilt it one way or the other. So I'm just grabbing it. Just a few light strokes because it isn't going to take much, I don't think. And yeah, that's taking that marker off pretty well across the top there. Now, I mean, you know, it's a faint line, but it is a silver line instead of a black line. And it's all the way across except for maybe 1 or 2 spots right here. I hope you can see that, but I'm just going to give it a couple more strokes and see where I'm at. That is good. I'm going to wipe this off, and it's going to take the marker off too, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I know that I've got a nice line across that, and I can see the reflection now all the way up. Let's see. Yep, I lose it just a little bit right there. Oh yeah, but where I didn't, it's nice and sharp. I think what I'm going to do, since I'm getting pretty good results, that stone is a little aggressive for me. I'm going to go to this 5000 grit. Check my sight line again. Yeah. What's happened here is because this is a little higher. You can see that it's probably 3/16 to a 1/4 inch higher. I've got to take my wheel and bring it down now. So I'm going to go back to my original mark. Let's see how that looks. I think that's going to be pretty good. Let's try this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's very nice. Just, you know, just a little bit right here is all I'm missing. And, you know, it tails off up into there and then it tails back into here. So just probably a few more strokes back and forth on that. That is very sharp. I got to run the back again, but that is going to serve me well, I believe. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'll get the other 3 done. I'm going to do a few more strokes on this one as well, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, I hope you can get this reflection. Well, I can see now that I'm looking at this, I missed a spot right there. So, gotta give this a little bit more attention. Maybe not, now that I'm looking at it. That's not a missed spot, that's just a reflection of. There you can see the edge now. Yeah, that's just the light up there. It's a polished finish. It's something reflecting on there. I think it's a light, but it moves when I move the, see how it moves? All right. So that's that. That's the front side. Again, the back, and that is sharp. I'm going to do the other 3, and we'll put them back in the joiner. I just jointed this piece of white oak. It's probably about a little less than 5 feet long, but it is very nice. There's a little tiny ripple in it. You know, I didn't get the blades just perfect, but it is beautifully square, and I can live with this. And when I ran it, it was just easy, so easy to run it through there. So I don't know if you can see that tiny ripple in it, but if you look down the edge, it looks glass smooth, but you can feel this little ripple with your fingertips. Nothing that a little sanding or a block plane or a hand plane will take that right out. Just a little whisper pass. So I'm very happy. I may or may not go back to try and adjust those blades, but first pass, beautiful.